Hi, good morning everybody. Welcome back to the online social class. How are you all? Hope you are all fine. Okay, in the last class we studied what is rain, how does it rain. And today we discuss about rainfall more. First of all, let us see how the southwest monsoon comes to India. In the last class, I said about the southwest monsoon. It's a wind that is blowing from the southwest part of the country, from the Indian Ocean. And this wind comes and enters the mainland of India through two arms. They are called the arms of Indian Ocean, two arms of Indian Ocean. One is Arabian Sea, the other is the Bay of Bengal. There is a diagram in the textbook. Let us see the diagram first. Okay, students, look at the diagram here. This is the diagram given in the textbook. In this diagram of the map, this is the south, and the top, this is the north, and right side it is east, and left side it is west. Okay, so if we divide the map into four parts like this portion of the map is called the southwest portion. This side is called southwest. And look at the arrow mark. The arrow mark is coming from the southwest. What does this arrow mark show? The arrow mark shows the wind. So this wind comes from southwest. So this is called southwest wind. And this wind carries moisture from the Indian Ocean and blows towards the land. Here it is very hot in the summer season, so the atmospheric pressure is less. And when the wind blows towards the land, here the high mountains of Western Ghats are there. These Western Ghats stop the winds. So what does the wind do? The wind rises up into the sky to overcome the height of the Western Ghats. The wind rises up. When the wind rises up, what happens? It cools down and fall down as rainfall. The other side, you see, the wind comes this way and enters the Bay of Bengal, and from Bay of Bengal it enters the eastern parts of the country. So, and causing heavy rainfall in this region. The green color you see now, in this area there is heavy rainfall, here and here. Here, the eastern states, and in the Western Ghats region, the green color is there. Heavy rainfall is there. Here the Himalayas are there. The Himalayas stop these winds there. As a result, the wind turns towards inland and causes rainfall there. So, these two seas, Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal, are called the arms of the Indian Ocean. Arms of the Indian Ocean. These two arms of the Indian Ocean carries the wind or brings the wind to the mainland of India, and this wind which is coming from the sea carrying the moisture causes rainfall in the mainland of India. These winds, the southwest winds, we call them southwest monsoon winds. The southwest monsoon winds first enters Kerala in the Western Ghats region in the first month of the June. After 1 week only, it comes to other parts of, means the inland areas of India. If you look at Andhra Pradesh. When does it begin to start rain in in Andhra Pradesh? In Andhra Pradesh, also in the month of June, there will be rainfall, but it will not be very much scanty rainfall only. First, the rain comes to Rayalaseema districts of Andhra Pradesh, namely Kurnool and Chittoor. Chittoor district and Kurnool district get the first rainfall of southwest monsoon in Andhra Pradesh. But actually when the wind reaches here, the wind is dry, that means no moisture. As a result, there is no heavy rainfall here. How does this happen? When the wind rises up to overcome the western Ghats, the moisture falls down as rainfall there only. So the wind that crosses the western Ghats do not have moisture in it. Otherwise the moisture is very less quantity. As a result, these winds are called dry winds because there is no moisture in it. The dry winds cannot bring much rainfall. So Kurnool and Chittoor get scanty rainfall. But after some weeks, the rainfall spreads to other parts of the state and also Telangana. There is heavy rainfall in Telangana region. Telangana region gets a good rainfall at this time. So this wind again moves towards the east. Then there is the eastern Ghats. Though eastern Ghats are not very high, these eastern Ghats also stop the wind. As a result, the wind tries to rise up, and whenever the wind tries to rise up, it causes rainfall. So like that, rainfall is there in the mountainous regions of eastern Ghats. So these types of rainfall is mostly present in the mountainous regions only. In technical terms, these kinds of rainfalls are called orographic rainfall or orographic rainfall. So Telangana districts get good rains because of these winds, because of the eastern Ghats. Now, next type of rainfall that happens in Andhra Pradesh is cyclonic rainfall. Cyclones, also called whirling winds. The cyclones also bring rainfall to Andhra Pradesh state. Usually cyclones develop in the summer season in the Bay of Bengal. The summer season makes the water very hot. As a result, a low pressure develops in the Bay of Bengal. The center of the cyclone moves fast with the wind. It moves from the sea to land, bringing heavy rains to the coastal areas of the Andhra Pradesh. So cyclonic rains. Cyclonic rainfall is a very big feature of Andhra Pradesh from the month of May, June itself. May to October, this is from the month of May to October, there is cyclonic rainfall in Andhra Pradesh. Now this is the month of November. Till last month we had a very good rainfall. The last month itself, several cyclones formed in the Bay of Bengal and we got very good rainfall out of that. But what happens to, or what causes the cyclonic rainfall? Actually, it is happening because of the intense heating I said. When a particular area becomes very hot, in that area the pressure decreases very much. So, from the sides, the wind will move very fast and forcibly to the center, where the pressure is less. And from all sides, when the wind come to one point, what happens? This wind which is coming from all sides will begin to push each other. As a result, they begin to move round and round and round. I am showing here some pictures of the cyclone, whirling wind, which is taken from the sky. So from that you can understand how a cyclone look like. So this wind when move fast to the land, it brings the moisture-laden air from the sea and cause heavy rainfall in Andhra Pradesh and moderate rainfall in Rayalaseema and Telangana districts also. And after October, the winds begin to blow from northeast to southwest. The return of the monsoon winds, because in the month after October, we know that it begins to cool down. The temperature falls in the lands. As a result, it will not take any wind from the sea. Instead, it will begin to give wind to the southwest. Because southwest is then also very hot and northeast become cool. From cool area to hot area only wind moves. And these winds are actually dry. But when they crosses the Bay of Bengal, they carry the moisture from the Bay of Bengal and brings heavy rains to the Coromandel coast, means Tamil Nadu, mainly to Tamil Nadu, and some districts of Rayalaseema and Chittoor in Andhra Pradesh, also Nellore south. In these regions there will be heavy rainfall because of the northeast monsoons or northeast winds, the winds which are blowing from northeast to southwest. Okay, here on the next page there is a diagram, there is a map of Andhra Pradesh showing the rainfall affected area of Andhra Pradesh. Color code is used there. 100 cm and above moderate rainfall, between 60 and 99 cm low rainfall, below 60 cm very low rainfall. And what is the condition of our Guntur? From the diagram we understand Guntur has a low rainfall between 60 and 99 cm only. But from Krishna onwards, all the northern districts of Andhra Pradesh have a moderate rainfall. Moderate means 100 cm and above. Moderate rainfall will be there in the northern states and also in the states of Nellore. Okay. And how can we, here said the rainfall is in centimeter, 100 cm, 60 cm, 99 cm like that. Can we measure rainfall? Yes, rainfall is measured with an instrument called a rain gauge. What is rain gauge? Rain gauge is an instrument used to measure the rainfall. We can make a duplicate rainfall in the textbook. Methods are shown. You can also make a rain gauge. But unluckily there is no rain nowadays, so there is no use of making this rain gauge now. But in rainy season you can make it and you can also measure the rainfall. Okay. And on this instrument, the water collected in the rain gauge will be measured in centimeters only. So, in a particular unit area or in a particular area, how much rainfall is there? It can be measured with the help of this instrument And this instrument helps us to compare the rainfall of two regions, and we can also say which region got more rainfall. What's the method of making a rain gauge? Take a bottle and cut the bottle and turn the upside down and keep inside the bottle, and fill the bottom of the bottle with the sand so that we may get equal surface there. On the side of this bottle you stick a scale, or otherwise you can draw the scale on a paper and you can stick there, and by looking at the reading you can find out how much rainfall is there. And here an original rain gauge also shown in the picture. So what to do when it rains? You keep the rain gauge in the rain, automatically the bottle will be filled with water, and you can look at the meter and find out how many centimeters of rainfall occurred that time. This is called a rain gauge. So till now we studied about the rainfall, cyclone, water cycle, etc., etc. And in the next part of this lesson we are going to study about rivers and all. So I'll send you some questions separately. You read textbook again and again, answer my questions, then you will get a clear picture of this lesson. When you answer the question, you will get a very good understanding. So don't hesitate to attempt the questions. You can also read from your study materials. If you haven't bought your textbooks, buy earlier and start your learning. And it is heard that very soon your school is going to be opened. Wish you all the best. Thank you.